Welcome back to Real Estate Masters on TV25. I'm David Johnston. My co-host is Tamika Bryant. And today we have Leslie Hodge with eXp Realty out of Wichita. Welcome back, Leslie.
Thank you. So
we were kind of laughing. We're going to wrap this up and have cocktails later.
Okay.
But we're kind of laughing during the break. We were talking a little bit about your grandmother.
Yes.
You said she sold real estate almost 50 years ago.
Yep.
And you still talk to her?
Yes, we still talk.
Do you get business advice from her?
Sometimes, yes.
So what's she think of kind of like your new business model and how this works?
She's very tech savvy. She is the queen of Facebook.
Oh, wow.
She likes to do a lot of genealogy, so she's on there bugging everybody about who was in which wars and who has death certificates and things like that. So
I guess
somewhat
this is
morbid.
what you do when you get out of real estate.
Yes. You're still trying to track people down. It's the same thing.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, she started almost 50 years ago, and it was interesting starting out because I was originally going to take over her business, but she only retired 2 years ago, so that didn't happen. But it was fun starting out because it was your Sue Bush's granddaughter, and then as I just took off and did my own thing, it was your Leslie Hodge's grandmother. And so the roles reversed between the two of us with the realtor community in the area. And so a lot of them, as she phased out, a lot of the agents don't know who she is. But definitely a lot of wisdom there, and a lot of direction that came from that.
Very good.
I'm sure she has a lot of stories, and most of the agents that I'm talking to, when they're looking at, well, how am I going to retire from the business? That's a huge concern for a lot of real estate professionals, both realtors and just real estate agents and people who serve the community in general. So I'm glad you're jumping in and saying something different, like, hey, I need to retire from this at some point.
Yeah,
Right.
You said I don't want to be selling real estate when I'm 77.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't either.
Nothing wrong with real estate, but I don't want to be doing any kind of work when I'm 77. So, usually the joke that I tell people when I'm educating them about eXp is that a realtor's typical exit strategy is a funeral, because they didn't make any plans with the checks that were coming in. So, my grandmother was fortunate in the fact that she sold a lot of real estate and had some investments with it. And my granddad is a retired lieutenant colonel in the Army, and so, he has his benefits from there. So they do all right, but most real estate agents don't make any plans for the future. They just continue to sell. I gotta pay for the burial. I gotta close.
I need that casket.
Exactly.
Right. So if you have any advice for agents coming into the business now, like they're getting ready to get their license, they went through school, what would you tell them?
The advice that my grandmother gave me when I started was to make sure that I had 4 to 6 months worth of money for my bills saved up in the bank account before I was ever going to even think about doing it full time. So that is one thing. I think people come in and they instantly think that they're going to have a check and they're instantly going to have buyers and sellers, and sometimes people are lucky with that. And I was 24 when I started, so nobody was buying anything at that age, and their parents didn't think I was smart enough or had enough experience to work with them. So I had to find people that didn't know me and fake it till you make it kind of deal. So that worked out, but it took a little bit of time to get the ball up and moving. It was an uphill battle for a little while. So that's one of the major things. But I think the other thing is to find somebody that can mentor you and take away a lot of the growing pains. Because if it's one of those typical adages that if I would have known now what I knew then, things definitely would have been different from the get-go. Would have been dangerous.
Like you are now.
Yes.
What would you have been?
Yeah.
He's still dangerous.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. And I know for a lot of the agents who are out there, they didn't have their grandmothers and who were in real estate or anybody. And so a lot of them are just going right into a real estate firm and listening to a spiel and joining a firm, and then they're frustrated in 2 years and they get out of the business.
Yeah, my biggest frustration with it is training, because they don't train you when you go and take the courses. It's just basically how to stay out of jail when you go to real estate school. It's not anything to do with building a brand or marketing or anything like that. I think that that's very poor at any of the major companies, from talking to people that we've been working with and recruiting to come to eXp. Some of the advice that I've heard, like, go knock on your neighbor's door and introduce yourself as a real estate agent. I don't understand how they're expecting these people to get checks. Like, they're just instantly going to be ready to put a sign in their yard or buy something. That I think that it's fine as far as planting seeds, but I think that there needs to be other things that are happening in order to get their business up and off the ground.
I agree. You had something you were asking?
No.
Oh, it's like he was trying to get in. No. You got to watch dig of it and just jump in.
No, it's just that twitched.
Yeah. But I know, like for me, that was always the thing we were told, like go knock on doors. And I'm from the Bronx originally, and so I'm like, whose door? Like,
if they're knocking, you're not answering.
Exactly. I'm not knocking on anyone's door because I don't want anyone knocking on my door at 6 o'clock. So, and then now you have so many people who are agents or know someone who's an agent. So how do you differentiate yourself from other real estate professionals, I think is key.
Yeah.
So do you have one thing that makes you different than another professional that's in your market, other than, of course, your grandmother?
Your grandmother and the orange Corvette.
And your orange
passive-aggressive approach. I've just always been very aggressive. From day one, it was pounding the pavement. Yes. Very type A. Yes.
You'll get out there and ask.
Yeah.
Get out there and ask for the business.
I hate the answer no, but I don't need counseling over
That's
it.
probably why I like her so much. She's like, no, what is that? What is that? Doesn't
Do it now.
I think we're just about out of time today, but I thank you so much, Leslie. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Meeting you. You're watching Real Estate Masters on TV25. Thanks again for watching. I'm David Johnston, my co-host Tamika Bryant, and our special guest today, Leslie Hodge with eXp Realty from Wichita.